Hi, David. How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Great. Fantastic. So the topic of the day is uh, how to pick a DUI attorney, the 10 questions you must ask, and I'm going to let you take it away.
Okay. All right, well, I'll do this. And it could be more than 10, but these are 10 you got to ask, which are, number one, how many years have you been in practice? It's a very important question. Obviously, they say knowledge without experience isn't worth very much, and this is a good question. Everyone's got knowledge, but how many years you've been in practice? Number two, I would say, how much experience do you have representing people who are charged with DUIs specifically? Because you could be a lawyer for 10 years, but if a lot of lawyers don't know anything about DUIs, and a lot of lawyers think they can just take it up and wing it. It turns out there's a lot of scientific issues. There's a lot of procedural issues. There's a lot of ramifications that change all the time. So we want to know, specific to DUI, how much experience do you have with those particular cases? The third thing I would ask would be, who in the office is actually going to be handling the case? And what are their qualifications? Because remember, some of these firms that you meet with and talk with, the lawyer that you're talking with might not be the lawyer who ends up appearing in court and representing you. So you should be finding out who that person is. And certainly should talk to that particular person and not just somebody who's sitting in the office. I would say another thing might be asked, how many cases have you taken to jury trial, which would be a very good question. A lot of cases don't necessarily go to trial, but you have to go to trial every now and again on certain cases. First of all, some cases have to be tried. That's the way they are. Secondly, some lawyers who don't do that, they're not going to be able to, if the prosecution knows that this isn't a lawyer who goes to trial on cases, then they know that they don't have to make a great offer. You need to be able to take them and hold them over a barrel sometimes to get good offers, and sometimes you have to actually go all the way through with trial. So you need to know that question. Have you ever been disciplined by the state bar? That is a good question to ask, and they should answer that question honestly. There's also, the state bar should tell you that as well. You should ask, what are the potential legal costs, full legal costs? And so you want to know not just your attorney's fees and not just the initial retainer, but how much is it going to cost me in attorney's fees all the way through? What do you anticipate it being and ending up at? In addition, that lawyer should also be able to give you an idea of what, do you need an expert witness? What would they cost? Extra testing, what would that cost? Then, as far as if you're going to end up on probation or entering a plea, what are the costs of that? What are the court costs? What are the fines? What are the costs of probation? What are the costs of the alcohol classes and community service? You need to know that. So your lawyer should be able to answer all those questions for you to your satisfaction. I think a good question would be, what kind of potential challenges do you see in this case? Where are the big sticking points, and what concerns you the most when you're looking at this case? They should be able to list and highlight for you. I think a question is, what will be the final outcome of our case, which is a loaded question. What do you expect to see happening? They should be able to give you an idea of what can happen within a certain range. They should not be guaranteeing you any particular outcome, because that's impossible, it's unethical, and you don't really know what's going to happen. I think to this list, though, I would add one other thing, which would be, I guess I'd say, you ever been to a concert and the performer's really not delivering, they're really not there, they're just phoning it in? I think you have to look for people who really believe in what they're doing and have a heart and passion for it. This is very important, because it's a reason why, like, not to compare attorneys to rock stars, because they're not at all the same, but to compare them to, like, to a Springsteen or a U2, those guys get up and they deliver every show. You see them and they really want to be there. They have something to say, and they believe they can get there through this medium of music that they're doing. And an attorney should be the same thing, should deliver the same thing, and should have passion about it. Some cases aren't going to go to trial. It may not be a winning trial, but there may be an issue about it that you should get up and you should say, hey, this is what my client has done since this happened, and this is how much he believes in what he's doing. And he should speak with authority, and not just with authority, with passion and belief. And I think, for lack of another word, just heart for it. And I think you should definitely be observing and looking for that when you're asking these questions. So that would be my advice, Jamil.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, David. That was great, and I look forward to speaking to you soon.
All right, we'll talk to you then.
Great day. Bye-bye.